All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. If anybody else jumps on, they can always watch the playback. So I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about one of the workshops that I went to at Summit, where we talked about a different kind of method or strategy to inviting people to your groups. You're always going to have the private messaging in the background. You're always going to have, conversations with people face to face. You're always going to have text messaging. All of that is always going to go on to invite people. But there's a way to sort of strategically post to bring more people's attention to what you're trying to promote without actually coming out and saying it. So let me share my screen, and I have a little bit of a presentation here, and then I'm actually gonna show you some examples on my Facebook page. Okay, so I think I finally figured out how to make the screen like really big. Can you actually see the PowerPoint, like the whole screen? Awesome. Yeah, I figured it out. It only took me like a year, but I was like, there has to be a way to make this bigger so people can actually see what I'm talking about. Instead of seeing like, the other slides that are coming up on the side. So yay, finally. All right. So today we're going to talk about mastering the process of inviting. And specifically, one of the things that we learned about was how to create soft invites versus a direct invite. So let me talk a little bit about the soft invite first. So what this is a series of posts or breadcrumbs, if you will, that you'll be posting throughout the week, one a day, that is sort of hinting at what it is that you're going to be offering without actually coming out and saying what it is. So I'm going to give you some examples of different ways that you can go about that. So let's use like a clean eating group as the example, just because that's like the most common one that people do, like a 5-day clean eating challenge. So if that was the type of group that you were trying to promote, some examples of things you could do for soft invites would be, create a survey. So what you could do is, and I have an example of this that I did last week, but you could literally have like pictures of different recipes that you made before that are going to be part of your menu for this group. And you can label them, make a collage, have the different pictures, 4 to 6 different pictures, and you can label them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in your post, say, which of these recipes looks the most appetizing you? Which of these would you love to try? Just to get them commenting and engaging on your post. You're not telling them that you're going to actually share these recipes in this group that you have coming up. You just want to get the engagement. You want to get likes. You want to get comments. You want people to interact with your post, because you're going to do a lot of your inviting in the background, like I said before. So anytime you get a like or a comment on that type of post, first of all, if they comment, you always comment back because that is going to bring the post into their news feed, and more eyes are going to go onto it. If they just like it, that's fine too. So let me give you an example of how I would follow up with that. If I get a like or a comment, I will message them. First, I'll invite them to my page if they haven't already subscribed to it. And I'll just say something like, hey, whatever their name is, you'll always want to use their name to make it personalized. Thank you so much for liking, engaging on my post. I usually put like a little smiley face in there or something. And then, I am always trying to connect with like-minded people. I see that you commented or liked on this post about these recipes. It is good nutrition, something that you're into. Just to start the conversation. It's as simple as that. All right. And, eventually as you're going through a conversation, getting to know them a little bit, then you can say, well, you know what, since you're into nutrition or you're looking for more healthy recipes, I'm actually going to be offering this group that's going to focus on clean eating. Is that something you'd be interested in? Okay. So they didn't know anything about the group when they originally commented or liked your post. But that's fine, because then you're being less salesy on your page. All right, so that's one option, doing a survey. Solving a problem. So an example of that, I would say something like, a few years ago, I really had no concept of planning out my week for my meals. It was always just grab and go. I would come home from work and I would like throw a TV dinner in the microwave, which is like the most horrible thing that you can do. But I thought it was healthy because it said, healthy choice on it. Do you struggle with planning ahead? Would it help you to have a plan in place? Someone to give you a plan of action for your week. And that's all you need to say. You don't need to, again, tell them what's coming up. So same process. If they comment or like, you're going to start the conversation with them. Another thing you could do for that specific example is you could post a picture of just one thing that you made that week that's going to be a recipe in the group. And you could say something about like how good it tasted, or that, since you started eating recipes like this, you've had a lot more energy. Just focus more on how the food makes you feel. The other thing you could do with that same type of post is you could say, is this something that you think you would like to try? Comment below if you'd like the recipe. Okay. You can certainly give them that one recipe, but also in the conversation, you're going to say, well, I have more recipes like this, and I'm actually hosting a group where I'm going to be sharing a lot of these things. Would you like to join? Okay. So those are your soft invites. Now, once you've done that over a series of, I would say at least 3 to 5 days, then you can move into the direct invite. So here's where you're actually going to post on your page that this is the group that I'm offering. Don't give away all of the details. I'm guilty as charged of doing this in the past, where I literally like list out everything. Like, we're going to give you this, and there's going to be prizes, and there's going to be this. And then, you know what? Don't give away everything, because then they have no reason to comment or ask you questions. So rather than giving away all the details, you can just give more of a generalized idea of what the group is going to be. So you could say something like, so you might have noticed over the last couple of days, I've been talking a lot about healthy eating and recipes, and I wanted to offer a 5-day clean eating group to help you guys with this very thing. And then the other things you want to include in that would be, obviously, when is the group going to be held? Because sometimes people have conflicts. They're going to be away for work that week, so they can't do it. So make sure you have that specific information. I always include a call to action. So, if you're interested in joining this group, comment a specific phrase below the graphic, or like this post for more info, or share this with a friend who you think might be interested in joining the group. Any of those works. And then always also include a deadline for them to commit by. So usually if my group is going to start on a Monday, I typically do my pre-party the Friday through Sunday right before that. So I'll usually start my soft invites a whole week in advance of that. Okay, so that way you have time to post some of the soft invites and then the direct invite, and I'd leave like a day at least between that and when the pre-party actually starts. That way you have plenty of time to follow up with people and start conversations and invite them to the group. Okay, so now I want to show you some actual examples of what I did. Okay, let me see here. Okay, can you see my Facebook page? Okay, all right. So this was last week, and currently in a free group, what we're doing, it's called Summer Salads. The idea was mason jar salads. We're providing them with a bunch of recipes to choose from, and they were just supposed to commit to 5 days of salads for lunch. That simple. So the first thing I did was I just did a post about lettuce. I had like 3 bags of lettuce in my fridge, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this. I'm going to pull these out, talk a little bit about all the varieties of lettuce, and ask them which they prefer, and then why do I prefer a certain kind? Why do I feel that it's more healthy for me? And you can see if I go down here, 435 people were reached. I only had 2 likes and 1 comment, which is fine. But it gave me 3 people to reach out to. Okay. Now I also post these on Instagram, so you're not going to see the Instagram numbers. I had a few people actually comment on this on Instagram too, so they're not included in this, but hopefully I didn't lose you. Okay. And then if I scroll up a little bit, okay, the next one that I did the following day, around the same time, around noon, I try to keep them pretty consistent. I talked a little bit about toppings for salads. How do you like to dress them up? What's your favorite combo? Here's one that I had today. Would you be interested in this recipe and more? And I just had them comment that below. Okay, I've reached 600 people. I had 4 likes and 2 comments. Okay, and these were all different people than the one that I did the day before. So now I have 6 people, 6 people to talk to, and 2 of them actually said summer salad. So right away I went into, yeah, I'm actually going to be doing this group. I'll be sharing recipes like this. Do you want to join? And both of them did end up joining the group. All right, so scroll up to the next one. All right, so the third day, I thought it would be fun to talk about the cheese that you put on your salads. So I just made a fun post here. This is one of the survey examples. Which of these cheeses do you prefer on your salads? And then I gave them my personal favorites. Okay, this one got probably the most engagement. I had 887 people reached. It looks like 3 people liked it, but comments I had 11. Okay, the surveys usually do the best because all they have to do is write like a number. Now you can see a lot of these people actually wrote a lot more than that, but a couple of them just wrote the number. So it's not asking them for too much. It's not asking them to jump out of their comfort zone. They're just commenting with their answer to the survey. All right, so that one did really well. And I got a lot of these people ended up joining the group. And okay, so I only did 3 days of soft invites for that one. Like I said, at least a minimum of 3, I would say, is good. And then, so this was my actual direct invite. So now I have a picture here with the mason jar salads, the name of the group, Summer Salads. I said, you might have been wondering what this has been all about. I tried to create a sense of urgency by saying we only have a few spots left for you to get in on this. And now I didn't put the dates in here, so this is not the best example, but I should have put, when this is going to be held. But I explained like why they would want to join a group like this. And again, call to action. Oh, I did have a sense of urgency too. Cutoff is midnight tonight. Okay. So I didn't tell them they were getting recipes. I didn't tell them they were getting a meal plan. I didn't give a lot of details away. It just kind of gave them a reason why they would be interested in this. Okay. So it's actually got the least amount of engagement. I didn't get any comments at all, but I got 2 likes and 117 people reached. That's why the soft invites, I feel like, are so much better because you're not promoting like a specific thing. People just feel like they're answering a question that you have. But again, it gives you people to reach out to talk about the group that you have coming up. Let me show you another couple of examples here. Now, the other, kind of in the same vein of that, I've been trying to experiment with sharing more about, the experience of things and not so much like saying the name of the workout that I'm doing. So like, here's an example of that. Again, it's kind of along the same idea. It's a soft invite. I'm not, trying to promote Shift Shop here, even though that's what I was doing. I didn't say it once in this post. But I just talked a little bit about how, it was a struggle for me to do this specific move for 60 seconds, but I did it anyway because I knew it was temporary. Okay. And then I ask them a question at the end. What do you struggle with and what goal do you have for yourself that makes it worth it to push through? Another thing I recommend too. So at this point, when I posted this, my group was already started. But I think I'm learning that I think it's important to share on your like page what you're doing in your group when it's actually happening. Because I think if we aren't doing enough of that, people forget that you invited them to something and they just maybe didn't really get what it was. But if you're actually sharing what's going on in that group, I think it gives them a little more incentive to maybe comment the next time you have something. So this was on Sunday, and I was just talking about how, we weren't the best as far as eating and drinking over the weekend, but that I decided to make this rainbow salad. So again, I'm talking about the salads. I said this is another option we have in the summer salads group. So I brought it up again. I wasn't inviting more people to the group at this point. It was too late, but I'm still showing them that this is actually going on. I told you that this was happening and it's happening. And here's one of the things that we're eating. Okay, so that actually got 5, 6, 7 likes and 1 comment. Okay, so things like that. Trying to see if I have another example here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so let me go back. Okay, I lost my screen to unshare. Stop share. There we go. All right. So does that make sense? Do you see how that could potentially work? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's just a really easy way to invite people without really inviting them. Because the whole goal of the like page is to get engagement. It's to get people to react to what you're posting. Because that's always going to give you a list of people to contact. So you know how we have the 30 daily connections? Like when I pull that up, one of the first things I do is I go to my like page and I take a look at the posts that I've posted and who's liked it and who's commented it. And those are the people that I'm reaching out to. Sometimes there are people you've already talked to before and they just would count as a follow-up. That's fine. The goal is to have, new cold market people starting to engage with your posts to start conversations with them. Do you have any questions?
Well, I have one. It's not necessarily related to the topic tonight.
That's okay.
When you talked about doing the ad sets a couple weeks ago, did you notice that you get more interaction on those type of posts versus like what you do, what you're posting today, or what you're setting up on Monday?
Can you
Still not getting any interaction at all.
okay.
And it's like I'm paying for posts. Sometimes it's like, I'll get like his sister will come, but she's pretty much like against anything at this point. And she knows I'm open to like if she wants to ask a question, but I'm not getting like any. Like I tried to post like a survey question last week.
Mm-hmm.
We buy a new fridge or should we get a new washer dryer? Here's our dilemma, you know. My dad jumped on and was like, "You need to buy on Craigslist," and I was like, "That just defeated like everything I was telling."
Yeah. I think like the biggest thing is
Instead of like just giving an opinion of what kind of turned into
Mhm.
like I'm not really getting a lot of engagement. I'm not getting likes at all.
Right.
I'm barely getting comments. I'm seeing that it's reaching people,
Right.
but a lot of times it's like maybe a post will reach like 20 people, maybe. So I don't
So,
know if like you had seen the ad set,
mhm.
you know.
All right. So a couple things. First of all, it's gonna take time. I would say my first year of doing this, I really wasn't getting much of anything either. Um, so it does take time, but if you're staying consistent with posting every day, like you have been, people are going to start to pay more attention when they see that you are consistently putting content out there. So don't get too like frustrated by the fact that you might not be getting as much engagement as you had hoped. A lot of that is just going to take time because people, even if they know you, they might not be really sure about what it is that your fitness page is about. It might take them a little while to see what's going on until they feel comfortable with engaging with you. So,
And I actually watched an Instagram training yesterday,
mhm.
and I implemented a couple things that they were talking about because I don't know anything. And I was
Okay.
posting everything on like from Facebook that I do on and I didn't know how to use it or like connect with people or anything. So like I got a lot of really good tips, and so I started using those.
Mhm.
Since doing that, from after I was done watching the thing yesterday through today, like I've gotten so many likes on my posts, and now I'm like, okay, maybe I should focus more on the Instagram, like give that a little bit more credit
Mhm.
than what I was, because
Sure.
people are coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden, commenting and liking my posts and following me, commenting. So I'm just like, wow, that's new. That's that.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Instagram, it's a little bit easier to reach cold market because people can search by the hashtag, so they don't necessarily have to be following you already to see it. Facebook's a little bit more tricky. Usually, they have to already be following your page, or there has to be like, you had commented on, maybe one of their friends commented on it and you commented back, and now it's showing up in their feed. So it's a little like the algorithm's a little bit more tricky. And that's why with Facebook, like you really have to work on um, the ad testing. Like I can't say enough about it. I mean, I don't know if you saw when we were on there, but I'm up to almost 3,000 page likes now. And it was like 530 a month and a half ago.
I'm working on
Um,
putting mine together, like different videos and stuff, and I have some videos on my phone that I just need to follow.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about this training. It's been so awesome. Like I never would have known that I was doing the advertising incorrectly. Hey, Carrie.
Okay.
Um, I never would have known that I was doing it incorrectly. But because I was just, I was posting something and then boosting that one post. And I would get so frustrated because I was trying to like target a specific audience and I was getting people that were not who I was targeting and it was just not working. So there were times when I just didn't want to boost anything because I was spending like, like $50 on one ad and it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. But this ad testing is like just totally different because all you're trying to do is get people to like your page. It's not that you're trying to get them to engage on one post specifically. You're just trying to get their eyes on your page so that they will eventually start engaging on your posts. So yeah, it's definitely a good idea to look into that. I don't know if there was anything else I was going to say on that, but all right. Carrie, did you know that we started at 8, not 8:30?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't like jumping on now thinking we were just getting started.
I saw the message and I was like, oh crap, I forgot. But I'm on. I know I'm late.
That's all right. That's all right.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Say hi, Miss Katie. Miss Val. Say hi, Val. Katie's on
Hi,
here too.
Beth.
Miss Katie's on too.
Is Miss Katie in here?
Yeah, she's in the phone.
Katie.
There she is.
Hi, Miss Katie.
Aw. That's too cute. All right. Okay, so I'll post the playback in the group. Bye. Yeah, we talked a little bit about different ways to invite without actually directly inviting. So there's a couple of slides there you can look at them. And I gave some examples and also showed on my page how I've been incorporating that. All right, so I hope you guys give that a try. If you have a free group that you have coming up, it's the perfect time to try this out. If you don't have one or you need some ideas on what to do for one, let me know, and I'd be happy to help. All right, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for jumping on, guys.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye.